everyone. So I'm here with Ronen Cohen, who is the VP strategy for Duality. Now, Ronen, I know you have some background in the financial services industry and in fintech, and I wanted to get some of your thoughts today about this hot topic sanctions issue and where technology fits into that.
Sure. Thanks for your time. Happy to talk.
Thanks for meeting with me. Okay, so first question is, in your view, what role do financial institutions need to play today to ensure that they meet these requirements for sanctions in light of recent events?
They play a central role. I mean, they're legally obligated to do it. So that's a pretty simple answer.
Okay, so let me ask a more specific question. How about what specific actions do financial institutions, for those who are not in the financial industry, let's say, why don't you tell us a little bit about what they usually have to do in order to be able to comply? What are the steps? What are the current processes that are involved? Manual, digital, whatever.
Sure. Yeah, there are basically a lot of sanction screening solutions out on the market today. And what those basically look at is different data sources like sanctions lists or PEP lists, which is around politically exposed people, or regulatory watch lists and others. And they're looking and comparing those lists to the entities that the bank is doing business with. And so whether you are sending money, receiving money, onboarding someone new and having a new business relationship, you need to check against those lists. And you need to obviously ensure that you're looking at the right people. So things like fuzzy matching and entity resolution also come into play, just to make sure that this person that you're looking at actually is this person on the sanction list. And then you better understand your risk, or you prevent a person from onboarding or transacting with you.
Okay, well, I guess then that runs into my next question, which is, what's the role of technology in the discovery process?
It plays a central role. It's basically a detection system at its core, and then you have to go beyond that, of course, to ensure that the people you're transacting with, if you don't know enough about them, you need to find out to make sure that you are not interacting with or transacting with a sanctioned individual or a PEP or a sanctioned company, and so on and so forth.
Well, I mean, just for my own knowledge, how do financial institutions usually do that cross-referencing? Is that through some sort of list checker software, deep analytics, AI and machine learning, or are we not there yet?
So the cross-checking is the challenge at the end of the day. So you can of course check like an OFAC list, for example, and look at sanctioned individuals, but you don't always know where the money is going to or who the ultimate beneficial owner is of that account. And so this is where financial institutions, not just in sanctions, but elsewhere have always been challenged in terms of information sharing and collaboration, around fraud, money laundering, terrorist financing, in terms of what is the flow of funds, what is the use of funds, who owns this account, who are they interacting with, could it potentially be a mule account? Like all of those things, sanctions is one of those, let's say, areas that financial institutions are challenged by.
Right. And my understanding is that in terms of privacy enhancing technologies and financial institutions, it's all about widening that picture of risk or of the customer portfolio. How does that come into play here?
That's exactly what it is at the end of the day. So, consumers, even law-abiding consumers, have multiple accounts at multiple financial institutions. And so any one institution that they bank with or that they have a financial relationship with doesn't really know them well, which means that they don't understand the risk well. And this, of course, becomes harder when someone is trying to obscure that, for example, a sanctioned individual or company. So it's really central to what you're asking about.
So are you saying that if financial institutions would start moving towards pets, they'd be able to either do secure querying to be able to understand better their prospective customer that they're doing research on, or that they could even build a model to help ferret out red flags?
I'm certainly saying that. I think that's more of an endpoint. What I'm saying is, in order to really solve, let's say, the sanctions problem, and to really ensure that you're being compliant and prevent those civil penalties, those legal penalties, and the reputational risk, you need to collaborate with other financial institutions. The way to collaborate with other financial institutions is by ensuring privacy and ensuring security. And you do need technological safeguards to do that. And that's where privacy enhancing technologies come in, to allow you to share insights, share data, do joint analyses, and so on and so forth. So really, the privacy enhancing technologies, the PETs, as you call them, are a means to an end.
Okay. Is there anything else on this topic you'd like to share with us before we conclude?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I'm sure we'll see more of you in the future.
Thank you very much.